Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Curse of Strahd. I hope you guys are excited to jump back in. Um, I'm just gonna start running through the intro. First up, we have Nanaha, Team Heart, played by Lumi-chan. Nanaha is...
No longer a Sun Soul monk, still human, trying to figure herself out.
Next, we have Saya, played by myself. We are Water Ganassi, Genie-Packed Warlock, and she's, pretty chilly. Next, we have Raz, played by Mizegus. Raz is...
a Shadarkai fighter barbarian who uses the shadows of the past to ensure his own future.
Next, we have Pocket, played by Desane. Pocket is...
a phantom tabaxi who will gladly show you a trick if you have some milk.
That's lewd. You can't say that.
It's an over 18 stream. It's fine. Next, we have Team Mum Verity, played by the one and only Mr. Pounds. Verity is...
It's me, the divine soul sorcerer. Yeah, sorcerer. This is a family-friendly stream. When has anything ever not family-friendly happened in this campaign? Come on.
Okay. Next,
Fluffy is so wholesome.
Fluffy is wholesome. We are not. Next, we have Axel, soon to be the only holy man left in Barovia, and also Lumberjack Jesus, played by Lennon Marks. Axel is...
a human devotion paladin, and also eating a brat. 1 second.
Yeah! Bratwurst!
And last, but definitely not least, we have our GM extraordinaire, Fluffy Snowfall, here to be wholesome and evil in the one aspect that she is evil in her life.
I try. Alright. Last we found our party in Barovia. They had made their way out of the village of Kresk, trying to procure a wedding dress for the mysterious abbot who had healed most of them of their newly acquired lycanthropy. On their way, they decided to stop by a secluded villa of a known textile merchant by the name of Vasily von Holtz. They had received a warm welcome, but unfortunately, due to issues with some of the seamstresses, there was a delay and they had to spend the night in the von Holtz manor. The party began their long rest until in the bedroom where Pocket and Axel were sleeping, a strange mechanical figure made its presence known. And that is where we will pick back up.
Are you gonna smash it, Axel?
As you say that, it stomps its foot on the floor and waves its hands at Pocket as if it were taking offense.
We'll see.
Talking to it. So do you have a message? Do you want us to follow you? What do you want?
It does a little jig, like a merry little jester dance.
I'll mimic it.
It kind of like lets its arms go limp and just looks at you, and then kind of like makes a motion towards you.
Like a middle finger motion? Or...
No, just kind of like an exasperated waving its hand at you.
what? A little competition?
Alright, so Axel will get out of bed and kind of go over. Alright, what do you want?
it begins looking around the room, and then it kind of scampers over to the desk on the other side. And procures a very, very crudely drawn stick figure representation of people laughing and a small little, what you assume is supposed to be the construct in front of you dancing on the page.
You want to perform for the house?
It nods, but then also points to itself and points to Axel, and then kind of makes like a little like walking motion with its hands.
Sure, I'll follow you. Where are you going?
It looks at you again, points to you, points to it, and then just kind of does like a walk in place, like it's trying to go somewhere with you.
Do you want to travel with us?
It nods.
We already have one wall.
Pocket, go get everyone.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll run out of the room. I don't know where the door is. Either way, I'll run out of the room, and basically just yell in the hallway, "Everybody!"
We're not here. You all hear Pocket screaming. Nanaha, at this point, you just hear this as the large mastiff is on top of the bed, just barking.
She rolls into a sitting position, rubs her eyes. Now what? Oh, so comfy.
There's a thing! There's a thing! It's over here! There's a thing!
Saya's gonna
There
walk out of her
monster in
room.
your milk.
Okay, there's like a creepy thing.
Saya's going to walk out of her room, hand up, immediate spritz.
I'm bringing the dog with me, by the way.
And I'll just lead them back into the room and point to the creepy doll.
I think I found a closet. I really can't figure out where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, I can't find my way out of my room. So.
Yes, I am also trapped in my room. Help!
My evil plan has come to fruition. Wahaha.
Help, DM, help!
I found the corner of a nanaha.
Oop, I see Roz in the hallway somehow, but oh, there's Saya in her room. So I can see through the walls apparently, but I can't get out of my room.
Woo!
Alright,
I have found
opened
Axel and Pocket's room.
there. I thought I had set the lighting barriers away, but y'all should be able to move in those rooms now.
But seriously, though, can I bring the dog?
Yeah. Pounce, think of the walls like hard barriers and just kind of move yourself through the opening areas.
I just dragged randomly until I got out. But we're loose.
I
You
just keep running into walls.
You can, but as the barking gets closer, Axel, you see the little figure running under the desk and hiding.
Alright. I'll tell Boot to stay out. Sorry, baby.
Well, Axel can see. By the time you guys get in there, I need everyone to roll perception.
Okay.
Should I be rolling this too, even though I know what I'm looking for?
Yeah, at advantage. Axel, you saw it hide, so you know where it's hiding under the desk. Otherwise, everyone else can't find it.
Great, so you're screaming for nothing, Pocket. Wonderful.
Stop! Stop! I would never. I would never.
Hey, little dude, no one's gonna hurt you. Come out. He's under the desk. 1 second.
You see eventually crawling out this little mechanical halfling-sized man. And it folds its arms, like it crosses its arms over its chest, glaring at Pocket.
Not my fault you decided to hide.
What's Mogget's reaction to it?
Tilts their head in confusion.
Fair enough. Saya's gonna lean forward a little, kind of squinting at it. So, you found a new doll? Okay.
Speaking of which, I will look for the Strahd doll that we don't know if it still is with me.
As you look in your bag, you find the Strahd ventriloquist dummy pretty quickly.
I'm gonna pull it out and I don't know. Actually, point to it. We already have a doll.
Yeah, but this one's got a much nicer outfit.
It kind of jangles in place in response to Nanaha.
He hasn't tried anything. He seems like he wants to travel with us, and he's not very good at charades.
He nods at the traveling with us, and then the not good at charades, it just kind of like it folds its arms again.
Perhaps the puppet is fine at charades and its interpreters are not so good.
Also reasonable.
I mean, I'm pretty good.
To be judged. I haven't played charades with you yet.
Okay, so obviously we need to discuss this. Did it really require Pocket screaming in this house where we're guests in the middle of the night?
It shakes its head no.
Yes! It was in our room, in the rafters, above us, watching us. Yeah, I think that warrants freaking out.
Yeah, most rats and birds do that too, Pocket.
This is not a rat or a bird, this is a dummy that is living.
So as you say, it's a dummy that's living. It makes little talkie motions with its hands and then points to Pocket.
Oh, I like him.
I don't like him.
Hey, turning to the guy. Your hat looks familiar. Were you, by chance, made by the toy maker in Valakai?
I don't know. This is pretty fun, so it might be a Blinsky.
It kind of like, it starts nodding, but as you say Blinsky, it shakes its head no.
Verity does this little huff behind. I don't know where she is. I guess she's behind. There she is. Behind. I was outside the room. Sorry. Behind Saya, and just like reaches, into like her into the back of her belt and pulls out a spare notebook and the non-enchanted quill, and she goes, "Honestly, does no one think ahead?" And just like holds it out for the whatever the fuck it is.
You did kind of just wake me up out of a deep sleep. I don't exactly have pen and paper on me always.
He will go over and take the notebook and pen from Verity.
And I will circle the room to avoid it.
And then it'll follow Pocket.
No.
I have a pen and paper as well. I just thought it was funnier this way.
I'm gonna jump into Mogget's senses, because Mogget has limited telepathy that can magically communicate simple ideas, emotions, and images telepathically with any creature within 100 feet, and just try to, see, questioning sort of thoughts. our emotions at it, just to see what we get back, if anything.
Hello?
Hello?
There you are.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Everyone went quiet. It was weird.
Oh, I was just explaining I was the limited telepathy, like sending kind of questioning emotions at it, and
Sure. What do you want to try and convey?
just kind of curiosity and like see if it means any harm.
Okay. So it doesn't necessarily say that that the target can speak back with telepathy.
Yeah, it just So we're just kind of seeing what we get out of that, I suppose.
You all see eventually the little doll tilts his head in like confusion and like starts looking around wildly.
All right. Well, we'll stop that. And Sile shrug. Well, it's sentient enough to notice a little bit of telepathy, but not enough to send thoughts back, it seems.
Well, I doubt it's every day somebody pops into your head.
It draws a crude little sketch of what you all assume to be you, except Pocket has stink lines coming off of it, and there's a little image of the little doll following.
Is there anywhere in particular you're trying to go?
Flips a page, draws like a crowd of people, and they all have little smiley faces on them.
Ah, want to perform for a crowd. Okay. I could see that.
Oh, good. You guys are friends. You can sleep in your room.
I don't think he likes the dog. Otherwise, I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatevs.
Does it even need to sleep?
Shakes
Oh,
his head
good.
no.
Then he can sit awkwardly and stare at you in your room while you sleep.
Excellent. I could use a compatriot to plan how to get rid of certain felines.
He can also stay with me. Mogget doesn't sleep, so...
It flips to another page, and it draws kind of like a crude sketch of a castle. And then it draws a little representation of himself with a sad face. And like the little representation of him is sitting on the castle.
You don't like the castle?
It nods.
To be fair, the castle is pretty creepy.
So wait, I get stink lines, but the castle doesn't get stink lines? Come on.
When was the
Okay,
last time
please.
you bathed?
Focus.
Well, I kind of clean myself every morning, but whatever.
Well, we're not exactly big fans of the castle either, so that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, don't cause any trouble, I guess.
It nods.
Here's an important question. Do the people who live here know you also reside here?
Shakes his head no.
Oh. I see.
So he is very welcome to sleep with you tonight.
He draws another... he goes to another page, draws a little picture of a wagon leaving the castle, and then he drew like a little picture of himself hanging on to the wagon.
Made a jailbreak, I see.
Nods.
Congratulations.
Did that wagon bring you here?
Shakes his head no.
Have you been here long?
Shakes his head no.
Well, that at least explains why they don't know he's here.
Points to himself and then points to the group again.
You're looking for us?
Kind of like does a sort of like shrugs the shoulder gesture.
Anyone traveling?
Nods.
I suppose it would be relevant to ask if anyone from the castle is going to be missing you, and if they will be looking for you, and by association, us.
Sadly shakes his head no, and then kind of like kicks at the floorboard a little bit, like one would kick the dirt.
Oh, good. At least we won't have someone following us, wondering where it's. What should we even call this thing?
Do you have a name?
Nods.
Okay, guessing games for names take a lot of effort.
Can you help us with the pantomiming syllables?
Or maybe just write it down with the conveniently provided pen and notebook.
I don't know if he can write. He just seems to draw.
Nods.
Question, creepy doll. Is it just the castle you don't like, or is it this fellow? And I will just open and close the mouth of my Strahd dummy.
Kinda gives a like, kind of like does this weird little like shrug, but it's in like you can tell that he doesn't have he's apathetic, leaning towards dislike.
Okay, so this Strahd you don't necessarily have a problem with per se. Like he didn't like hurt you.
Shrugs. Then he flips to a page and draws a little picture of what like looks like a closet, and then there's a little caricature of Strahd throwing the puppet in the closet.
All right, little guy, you want to help us figure out your name?
It just kind of stares at the page, not sure. Oh, then it thinks for a second, draws a few pictures. Okay, so the first picture, there is a crude drawing of Pocket, and underneath there's a little puddle of liquid.
Wet cat?
No, he takes the pen and like draws dribbles down Pocket's leg.
Urine.
Oh, he's piddling himself.
Nods.
I'm gonna walk even further and just go. No.
The second, he draws a little candle and an arrow pointing at the candle wick.
Wick?
Nods.
So you're Piddlewick.
Nods enthusiastically.
Oh, there you go. It's much better than saying it all the time. Thank you, Piddlewick.
I have to say, that was a very creative way to get that first part of your name down.
I thought it was
like,
pretty funny.
Takes this like kind of like boastful stance.
Alright, we seem to be in agreement at least that Piddlewick can continue, or can travel with us. We should probably get back to sleep.
Nods.
We're all seeing the same thing, right?
Yes, it's a tiny man. This is Barovia, where everything is not as it should be.
To be fair, we do have a fairly skeletal, dragony thing and an elk outside. Why wouldn't a creepy doll fit right in?
Because the only other creepy doll that I have any sort of frame of reference for somehow magically stabs me when I stab it.
Yeah, you do essentially have an effigy of he who I will not say his name, and that doesn't usually go well if something's ticked off at you.
And to be fair, if you stab most things, they'll try to stab you back.
Toys
as
shouldn't do that.
As you say that, Piddlewick is going to kind of like meander over next to the doll.
And I'll kind of hold it out to him.
He pokes at it and then looks at Pocket expectantly.
Hi, HBG.
You're trying to get it to stab me?
It doesn't respond and pokes the doll again and looks at Pocket and then kind of walks away pouting.
I'm putting the doll away. Go sleep in somebody else's room.
Well, come on. None of us are going to get any rest if you stay in here, Piddlewick, so...
Follows.
Come on, Boot, to the room before you scare the little guy.
Brf. You hear the clicking of gears getting softer and softer as Piddlewick leaves the room.
Because I have a climb speed, can I climb up the wall and into the rafters and see, like, where he was? Is there anything else? And or is there some other way to get into this room up here?
As you're up there, you do see that there is a balcony where you guys are on. In the rafters, there's a small, like, basically it looks like the coat for kind of a humanoid person, but it's in very bad shape and is kind of like twisted into almost a nest.
I'll grab the nest coat.
Okay.
Come on down, show it to Axel. I assume it was bedding in this?
Probably.
Does the coat itself have any identifying or unique features other than just
No.
being...
It's just a very, very basic brownish coat, kind of scratchy and itchy.
I'll stuff that in my bag.
Yeah, it's almost like it was made out of burlap.
Well, I'll take this side of the bed.
Sounds good. Hang on to that, by the way. You don't want the doll to get angry at you for throwing out his bed.
Well, that's why I was keeping it. Maybe it'll be a bartering chip for friendship.
Because unlike Gentaro, Pocket cannot
All right,
just
the rest
make
of you go
people
back
be
to bed?
his friends.
Yeah.
Okay. Roz, can you do me a favor?
Of course.
Can you make me a perception check, please? All right. The rest of you make the rest of your long rest. Kind of those of you in rooms with windows, there's a little bit of light peeking in through the filtered cloud cover overhead. You hear Many of you are woken up with a loud shriek from the downstairs, and the stamping of feet as someone seems to be running up the stairs towards the bedrooms.
Pull out my rapier.
Pocket, you were holding your rapier in your sleep, and you wake up and you find that it's completely covered in blood.
Mother. Sorry, Axel.
In fact, you actually see there's like a blood trail leading into the bedroom towards Pocket's side of the bed.
Oh, this is not good.
Okay, I know I didn't do that.
Well, it sure doesn't look good, Pocket.
Clean off the rapier and put it away.
A few seconds. Go ahead, Hack.
Just as Pocket is covering up the crime scene, Axe is going to head out into the hallway and try and find the stamping. It's like who needs help.
You see at this point, Danya is running up the stairs. She looks rather distressed. Is everyone all right?
I'm fine.
Yes.
There was a break-in last night. One of the servants was found dead in his quarters this morning.
What?
Yes, some effects were stolen in the middle of the night, and she just kind of she's almost hyperventilating.
Can I hear this conversation? I mean, I assume the door is left a little open.
Yeah. And
Consider the blood leads to me when I rummage through my bag while she's talking.
Yeah, and she's kind of hyperventilating. And I woke up this morning, and I went to go get breakfast for everyone, and
Saya's gonna take her hands and just as calmly as she can, shh, sit down, take a breath, and then tell me what happened.
I woke up this morning. I went to get everyone breakfast. I went to go wake up. I went to go wake up the staff, and I went to Stefan's room. You did not meet him last night. He is one of the groundskeepers, and he was dead in his bed. There were stab wounds all over him. Morning, Lord. I can't believe this happened.
You said some things were stolen. What?
Yes.
What was missing?
There were some books stolen from the library. And just some trinkets, like silverware, jewelry.
Has anyone seen Pocket? He's the only one who didn't rush out, curious about what's going on.
Has anybody checked on our librarian friend to make sure she's okay, since there was stuff taken out of the room she tends to hang out in?
Katharina is fine. She was in her room that night. She is very understandably upset, but not for the right reasons.
Verity, would you and Axel mind taking a look at Stefan? Axel could do rites, and you seem to understand medicine, healing.
Pocket, in your question, there's some silverware and jewelry in your bag that you don't remember stealing.
All right, well, coming clean might be the best thing. I will just hold that in my palms, grab the rest of my stuff, and kind of walk out holding it. I think this is probably some of the stuff that's missing. I also assume that if my rapier was covered in blood and I'm like half of me is just covered in blood.
Yeah. Danya screams at the sight of you.
What the fuck, Pocket? What
It
happened?
wasn't me. I don't know what happened.
Saya is actually just going to turn a dirty look on Axel because she knows that he has to have known about this and didn't keep Pocket under wraps.
Axel, like, gives this look of, like, I don't know. Like, I get the look you're giving it just back is, I don't know, man.
You see the large imposing excuse me. You see the large imposing form of Radu as he runs up the stairs. What he's going, and he looks at Pocket, and you see like this burning anger behind his eyes.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Explain yourself now.
I woke up like this. I woke up and my rapier was covered in blood and it was in the bed and I had all this stuff.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage. Nice.
He's still good at persuasion.
Oh
though.
god.
You see the anger fades slightly. There is more to your story than you are letting on, Tabaxi.
Okay,
But-
Radu, Pocket, actually everyone, if you want, gather close. Radu, I understand your distrust here. I'm a little confused myself. But I can, well, maybe we don't have to do this right here, but I can create a zone where people can't lie if we want to actually discern what the heck happened here.
Yes, if you could do that, that would dissuade many of my concerns.
Do you have a meeting room or something where we could sit down and talk a little more comfortably, not in the middle of a hallway?
We can return down to the dining table. Lord Von Holtz has not yet arrived, and I would prefer to get this situation figured out before he returns.
Absolutely. Feel free to grab your guards as well, whatever precautions you want to take.
I knew this wasn't going to end well for us.
He leads everyone downstairs. Danya is still hyperventilating. And kind of doing the, like, scared college kid in a horror movie babbling.
Sorry about the bloody footprints, and I'll follow.
Alright. You make your way downstairs, and you do see kind of drips of blood along the floor leading upstairs. You see the red form of the tiefling woman. She's currently going after each spot and cleaning the blood off with prestidigitation. She kind of sighs as the group walks by.
So, are we all ready here to start then?
Sure.
All right. You're going to feel a tickle in the back of your minds here. Generally, you can try to resist it, but for the sake of this, please just let it wash over. It's harmless. And I cast Truth Center down on the table.
Does anyone wish to make a charisma save? If you fail, you are unable to deliberately lie.
Nah.
I'll just take it. Or take an E. Just let it do its thing.
Okay.
What's your DC, Axel?
14.
Ooh.
Perfect. Okay, perfect.
I do know that Raz and Saya have made their save.
You have to know that we were going to. that we were going to resist.
And did any of the others, like the house staff, make the save?
They specifically failed.
Okay. All right. So while we're in this room, no one can lie. So this should help us discern what happened. Radu, the floor is yours.
He looks at Pocket. What? And he just kind of looks. Tabaxi, do you have a proclivity for sticky fingers, as it would?
Yes.
He starts writing something down in a notebook. Have you thought of stealing from Lord Von Holtz?
Specifically here?
Yes.
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Almost like
We did warn him not to try to take anything.
I
I
have
do
thought
rem-
about fighting your cat, though.
Okay. Do you sleepwalk?
I have vivid dreams. I don't sleepwalk as far as I know.
He looks to Axel. Does this one move about in his sleep?
I've never seen him do it, but this isn't the first time I've woken up to him having been elsewhere.
Starts scribbling down. Looks to everyone else. What were you all doing last night after we all retired for the evening?
I was sleeping in the main room. You can ask the dog.
Kind of nods, looks to Saya.
I was sleeping.
Okay, looks to Verity.
I wrote a letter for Katerina, and then I was sleeping.
Okay, looks to Roz.
I was in the central hallway area, keeping an eye on the new puppet.
The new puppet? Elaborate, please.
We have a new puppet that decided to join our group. Scares the piss out of the cat, though.
He kind of
He's
narrows.
creepy and he moves and he wants to join us and you guys apparently didn't know that he was here. He said it and I'm just spilling the beans of last night's events.
He looks like just very
Like
confused.
The innocent person being questioned in the station that's obviously terrified.
Yeah, he is very confused.
So this little jester doll kind of just appeared in Axel and Pocket's room and was saying it was trying to find a way to a town so it can perform. It just looked like it wanted to perform.
Roll a persuasion check, please.
Can do.
There have not been any signs of this mechanical man that you are speaking of. He looks to the guards. Have either of you seen them? No, sir, we have not. I have not seen any puppets.
Fluffy, what did Piddlewick do during the night?
You saw him kind of just hang out next to you for a while, and then the dog started barking and it went off and hid, and that was the last you saw of it.
Okay.
He looks to the kind of drab looking man in the back. What about you, Merrick? Did you see anything? No, sir. I woke up this morning and Stefan was dead. I did not hear anything in the middle of the night. There was just blood everywhere. And there were a few prints on the ground. That was about it. Prints? What do you mean prints? They were like... What is word? You know, like with Gregor, toe bean? Large toe bean.
I'll put my foot up on the table. Matching this?
Yes. Exactly like that.
Question, because now I'm super suspicious of this doll. Does it look like they were drawn? Or is it a perfect match?
You stick your foot up and the bottom of your foot is covered in blood.
So I'll just kind of, well, I mean, I'll make a print on the floor, not on the table. Like perfectly like this?
Yes.
Okay, but I didn't do it. As far as I know.
Pocket seems to be very prone to night terrors, and they seem to result in a lot of blood, but usually he has never harmed anyone during these night terrors.
It's usually me just getting harmed.
Saya, roll me persuasion or deception, depending on what you're trying to do.
That's the question. Am I trying to lie, or am I just trying to persuade them that this is a misunderstanding?
You see the guards and the men known as Merrick kind of soften their anxious glare at Pocket. Danya seems to be calming down a little bit. Radu still seems unconvinced.
Radu. Oh, good, Raz.
Raz kind of bends over and tries to whisper into Axel's ear. I have a bit of an idea. I don't know if we should talk about it with everyone.
I kind of right like lawyers and counsel. I kind of like make a little nod towards Raz and then turn to Radu. With your permission, would it be possible for us to see the body?
He nods.
Okay. Let us. Is it okay if we, Radu?
You cut out. Sorry, what?
You're still entirely cut out, Lennon.
Radu, I say. Oh, check. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes.
Okay. Weird. Sorry. Let me move my mic a little bit. Okay. Radu, would it be okay for us to take a quick break for 5 minutes? I need to speak with my companions and then to examine the body. If you have any other questions, feel free before we break.
No, that is fine.
Very well.
Do what you need to.
That's what Saya's been sitting here trying to do.
I can stay here if people are still assuming that I murdered someone.
Raz, Nanaha, will you follow me, please?
Can do.
Hello, Katrina.
Hello, charmed.
Okay, Roz, what do you got?
So the other night when you guys were all inside that wagon with Esmeralda, I took Pocket's puppet out, hacked the crap out of it, and left it stuck on a tree out near the tower. There is no reason he should have it now. And yet he does. I'm concerned that that marionette that he's got may be a conduit for something else, and that he's being controlled by it.
I am seriously surprised he hasn't burned it yet.
Maybe he can't. That would be fittingly ironic for Strahd if he's controlling someone through a marionette.
True.
I thought it was just going to be a funny joke to leave one of Pocket's things off somewhere else, but to find him having it now, it's rather concerning. And I didn't, since we already brought the puppet up for Piddlewick, I didn't want to bring up a second puppet with the rest of the people who live here around.
That's fair. Where is Piddlewick?
Whose room was he in?
He was out with me, and I was keeping an eye on him. But when everyone started waking up, the woman screaming and the dogs barking, he ran away and hid. And I lost him in the shuffle.
Okay, so that at least means he was with you most of the night, or all of the night?
As far as you could tell, the whole night. I mean, there was time you had to trance, but he was there when you were lucid.
He was there the entire time that I was lucid, and I didn't see him running around waving a bloody rapier, leaving footprints the shape of pockets anywhere.
Well, I don't think it's him. I'm just trying to get some timelines.
Nanaha, will you help me examine the body if we can? I'm very concerned that the stab wounds are going to match up to a rapier, but if they don't, that would be, at least a chance to clear this out.
I will gladly go and observe the body and try to figure this out.
Maybe when we return to the abbot, if the doll is cursed, maybe it can be, the abbot can help. If the doll is just a window for the Lord, then we probably gonna need to take some drastic measures to get rid of it.
I just know we did get that dancing book, so he should be interested in assisting us further with other things.
That's true. Hopefully that can be of use. All right, let me go get Radu.
So did they leave any guards in the room with Pocket, Verity, and Saya?
No, they did not.
Okay. As soon as everyone's gone, Saya's going to push him into a chair. Tell me everything about your night terrors. Everything.
What? They're just normal. Well, okay, maybe not. And I'll explain the dreams that I've had that correspond with my Whispers of the Dead. And I seem to feel a bit more, proficient with certain things after I've had, they're super vivid. But I've never moved or anything. The only other time that I've woken up covered in blood was after stabbing the doll.
Okay. Saya's going to start pacing back and forth. She's trying to figure out a way to spin this.
Verity will go
I wouldn't kill anybody. I didn't do it. I wouldn't just do that.
I know, Pocket. I know you didn't kill anybody. However, they don't. And if I have to lie to get you out of this, I'm going to have to lie to get you out of this.
Brady goes over and sits next to Pocket and holds his hand.
You are holding a crying tabaxi hand.
I know she does a little. She does a little pats on, a little rub on the back of the hand. I thought it might be a little too racy for the stream, holding hands, but the man looks like he needs it.
Oh, he's just a puddle.
All right. Who all wants to go see the body?
I am.
I am.
Okay, so just Axel and Nanaha.
Seems like it.
Okay. All right, one moment. Nanaha and Axel, Radu will lead you to the back of the... One second. I am doing something here, sorry. There we go. Radu will lead you out back behind the manor to a small structure. This is where the staff sleeps during the nights. This is Stefan's room, and he comes and leads you to a room. The door is ajar, and there is blood everywhere.
Were there any signs of forced entry?
No, none.
Is this house locked at night?
Yes, it is. But everything was found unlocked this morning. There was no sign of struggle.
Is there a locksmith on your payroll by chance?
No, there is not.
Very well. I think the only person in our group that's very good at inspecting locks is Pocket, and I don't know if you'd necessarily trust his review at this point. Okay.
What do you want inspected with the locks?
If they were opened with a key or if they were tampered.
Give me a moment. And he just kind of goes and inspects. He kind of peers into the eye hole. Are you capable of producing light, holy man?
Yes.
Could you shine light into the keyhole here for me to investigate?
Yes, 1 second. This is going to be a little awkward. Axel is going to take out his whole ass glaive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to use my weapon channel divinity. It's the only easy light source I currently have. So,
okay.
So the blade of the glaive is just like a glowing flashlight.
He looks into the keyhole. From what I can tell, there are scratches against the tumblers in here. The wear is not even. I would say that this was not done with key.
Very well. All right.
I got into a lot of trouble in my younger years. Let's just leave it at that.
Understood. We all have those stories. Nanaha, let me help you with the body here. Thank you very much, Radu. Let's see if we can get some more information here. And then Nanaha, you're trained in, well, out of character. Nanaha's trained in medicine, right?
Yes.
Okay. I will let you do the checking of the body. I'm also trained in medicine, but I'm sure you're better at it, so I'll just assist.
I have a +6. What do you have?
+5. Yeah, I'll definitely assist.
All
Okay.
right, advantage.
Go ahead and roll medicine. So, Nanaha, from what you can tell of the body, there are very narrow stab wounds around the chest and the midsection. The entry hole is rather small and narrow, indicating a piercing weapon. The way that the blood kind of sprayed, the blood patterns, you can see that a lot of the blood soaked into the bed. But there was definitely, you could see blood in the blood spray, or in the blood patterns, that it sprayed out whenever what was pierced in was removed. This looks very indicative of something small and narrow, like a rapier or some sort of dagger, like a very narrow stiletto-style dagger.
Yeah, this doesn't look good. Are we the only two in the room?
Yes.
When we're done with this, we're seriously tying Pocket up every night.
That may be a good call. How deep are those wounds?
They're through the whole way of the body. There are holes in the bed.
Yeah, that's the. How clean are the wounds? Was it done with an incredibly sharp weapon?
The wounds are pretty clean. There's a few points where you can see there's some tearing that you imagine they may have wiggled the weapon in the wound a bit before removing.
It's a shame none of us have speak with Dad. We could actually just outright ask him then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be straight with you. This does not bode well at all.
I agree. I don't know. I mean, unless there's another tabaxi that broke in and covered Pocket in blood.
Yeah. So, does anybody have any sort of resurrection or something we could use?
Maybe if we take him back to the abbot.
Do you think the abbot wants more books?
Maybe. Oh, that we should see what books were stolen. That might help point to this too. Looking around the room, where do the footprints go? You said there were bloody footprints?
Yes, there are. Feel free to roll investigation, Axel. The footprints are heading from the bed out of the room, and then they start to fade as they get away from the blood that is now coagulated on the floor in bed.
They're roughly pocket-shaped.
Yep, roughly pocket-shaped.
Alright, we should probably head back then. Hey, Radu.
Yes, what is up?
It was mentioned that some books were stolen. Do you know which ones were taken?
I do not. They were just history and geography books. But Katerina was very upset by their by someone being in her library that I had to mention it.
Very well. We should probably talk to her too. Hey Lumi, or hey Nanaha, when did Boots start barking?
Right before the screams. Or right about. Damn, did I remember that right?
Seems about right, yeah.
Something is wrong here, but I have no idea what it is. Shoot.
I was gonna say, wouldn't Axel feel the bed moving if I got out of bed? But stealth is so high, so probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you burn it off or something. I don't know.
Alright. So, are we still alone, the four of us in this room?
Yeah, I'm gonna move other people out of there.
Oh, I didn't see anybody else. I was just making sure.
Yeah, you are.
So he's gonna come back to Pocket. You showed us everything in your bags, right? Everything that you didn't have before?
Yes.
And none of those were books, right?
GM, were any of those books?
You didn't see any books?
No, not that I had.
Okay. That's a line that I can carry this. Good.
How about I didn't kill anybody?
Hey, Verity,
That's me. Well, not me, but you know.
can you roll me an investigation check, please?
No, I fucking cannot, but I will try. See?
Okay. Moving along.
Well, Saya, can you? This wouldn't exactly be the first time that I might have caused someone to be murdered. Do we know if the person who died, like, if they had been complaining about hearing or seeing things, or if they particularly had a bad run-in with the big guy, or, like, what was the point of murdering that specific person?
Who knows if there was a point, Pocket? While I don't believe that you killed him, sometimes people are killed just to make a point, whether or not they're important or not.
Full pouty face. Can you clean the blood off me?
She'll gently shape water him until he's clean.
He is now wet.
Thanks.
Hey, she was gentle about it.
Oh, I know. He's still wet.
Well, he's still wet and still sad that, people think he murdered someone.
Hey, well, I mean, she could be lying to you, but she's told you she doesn't think you murdered anybody.
Silver-tongued as she is, I believe it.
It's true. Is there anything the four of you would like to do in the intervening time?
Just really quick, check the Strahd doll. Does it have any blood on it?
No.
No new markings, nothing other than itself.
It's just there.
Does it look in good condition or the beat up condition that I left it in before?
It looks in good condition.
I think it's that doll. I really do.
I think it's the doll too.
No,
The creepy new.
You don't understand. When you guys were in the wagon with Esmeralda, I beat the shit out of that. I stabbed it, broke pieces. I beat on it for a good few minutes. and it shows no sign.
You could have killed me!
And oops. It shows no sign, and I left it in the woods, and it's not in the woods anymore.
Well, I was thinking it was the new doll, because that's just terrifying.
I doubt the new doll would have brought itself to our attention. If it
I
were.
mean, what... I want to say that someone would have heard or saw me, but I tend to be pretty quiet.
It does stand to reason that if the new doll wanted to frame us, it would have done so by best not revealing its presence to us. Saya is correct.
Fluffy, is there a fire in this fireplace?
Yes.
Pocket. Toss the doll into the fire.
No.
Pocket. Toss the doll into the fire.
No.
When I tried to stab the doll, it stabbed me and I was bleeding. I'm not throwing it in fire.
If it's cursed, then he probably can't harm it himself.
Then Roz will stomp over, try to grab the doll, and throw it into the fire.
Ross, wait!
Okay, full terrified. I'm
At
wholly
Roz's
believing.
weight, he will pause.
Think objectively about this. You inflicted what sounds like multiple stab wounds to the doll, and it sounds like that servant who was killed suffered multiple stab wounds. If you throw this into the fire, it stands to reason that perhaps someone else may suffer the associated burns.
Yeah, me!
And then one person will be dead, and this doll won't be cursing anybody else.
Except you already mostly destroyed it and it returned to us anyway. It appears to have at least some kind of magical properties to it.
Fine. Fine. But I wash my hands of this.
Personally, I'm with Raz on getting rid of it, but I don't think risking Pocket's life is the best way to deal with that.
Aw, Saya.
Verity, can you ask Katerina about the books that were taken?
She speaks common, you know.
Yes, well, you two seem to get along in a love of books.
How about I do that?
I can hear, you know.
Fair enough. Would you
Summon
tell us
tiefling
about the
success.
books that were stolen?
There were a total of 7 books taken, 2 of which refer to Barovian history, one of which refers to some strange land known as Toril, and the rest were geography books. None of them in particular held any sort of special significance other than the fact that someone was stealing from my library.
Well, I only went in to bother you the one time. I wouldn't ever just go in there.
Shh. Remember, you don't have the books. I don't think you've done this, and I feel like these books are a big part of it.
Roz, since he didn't camp anywhere, will look through his own bag. Does he have any books? But also, he would like to pull out some of the books that he has from the Death House.
There are no books, no extra books that are in your bag. You can pull out the
Okay.
Death House books, though.
Well then, would you take these as a bit of recompense? And he'll kind of spout off about the necromancy and et cetera, et cetera.
She will head over and starts thumbing through them, and then uncharacteristically she laughs. Oh, these are these are funny. Yes, I would love a good comedy.
Well, then you can have them, and if we find the books, you have more than when you started.
I appreciate that. I just have to say that if whoever wrote this in earnest, I'm sure their idiocy is what was their downfall. Nothing in these books actually works. That is what's so funny.
Well, the family was a bunch of ghosts and undead, so some of it might work.
I will look into it. However, most of this is at least enough to lift my spirits, as it were. I appreciate the recompense. Thank you. And she kind of tucks the books under her arm. If you do find them, it would be appreciated upon their return. As well as the quest that we had discussed previously last night, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Once we finish our current goals.
Understood. Alright, well, if you find out any new information, please let me know. And don't give me any reason to have to scry on your friend here.
Or maybe just do it anyway.
You make a very persuasive argument, Tabaxi. I shall. And then she leaves.
I swear, Pocket, if she comes back with evidence that ruins all of these arguments,
I don't know what other evidence there could be. I don't know. Everything seems to point to me. All of it.
It's clear to me that you're the one who did it. The question is, were you controlled when you were? Or if you were just sleepwalking and felt like murdering someone.
The issue here is it's all a little too convenient. I mean, it is quite obvious that Pocket is the culprit, as you say, but it is, to my reasoning, seems that he was maliciously controlled. There's so much evidence that it seems impossible not to point the finger at Pocket. He is, for all of his other traits and faults, he's not stupid. If he really wanted to murder and steal, he would leave every sign in the known universe pointing right back to him, and then stay in the house where he murdered and stole.
Well, that just means I didn't do it consciously. That doesn't mean I didn't do it.
Yes, but if you didn't
Exactly.
do it with willful intent, you're innocent.
I don't know that they would see it that way.
He could be a somnambulist.
What did you say about my mom?
No, somnambulist, a sleepwalker. So he could be a somnambulist murderer.
Verity gives Pocket's hand a squeeze, and she goes, I won't allow them to punish you for something you didn't intentionally do.
Thanks. Thank you, Verity.
You all hear from the next room over. Hello, everyone. Are you here? Everyone, are you here? Hello?
Ah, shit.
Saya's gonna go out. Ah, Lord Von Holtz, you've returned.
Yes. A little later than I would have liked, but unfortunately, dinner conversation got the best of me. I hope you all had a pleasant stay.
All right, let's hear that Saya charm and spin.
There was unfortunately an incident in the night, Lord Von Holtz. We were working with, his name.
Radu.
Radu. Thank you. We were working with Radu to get to the bottom of it. We were hoping to resolve the issue before you returned so that you would not have to trouble yourself.
Oh, what do you mean an incident? Is everyone all right?
Unfortunately, no. Apparently, a young servant named Stefan was murdered last night.
Oh no, that is terrible.
And some books were stolen from your library.
Well, that is very unfortunate. I will have to talk to Katerina and see if it is something that I could get replaced. She do not.
Insight check. Is he, from hearing this, because is he presenting a tone of like, oh, whatever, servant people, or is it like he really just actually doesn't give a shit?
No. You can roll insight. Roz, from what you can tell, it's not that he doesn't give a shit. He actually seems to be going through a list of things that should be taken care of. And then the next thing he's like, well, if I remember correctly, Stefan was married but did not have any children. I should remember to send a condolence gift to her as soon as possible.
So very matter-of-fact business, like oh, something broke, got to get this fixed, that fixed, and
Yes. Well, I'm
It's
sorry.
not like he can raise dead.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I don't care. It's more like, all right, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, and this needs to be done. Is there anything... None of you are harmed, correct?
No. However, I do understand that as we are strangers, there is a touch of suspicion on us since this did happen while we were guests.
I see. Well, I'm a pretty good judge of character. I don't think anyone in your group would be capable of such a thing.
That's why we are doing our utmost to cooperate with the investigation.
It is appreciated. Do you all need anything? I mean, that obviously had to be very traumatizing. Stefan was such a good man. It is a shame that he was taken out like that. I did wonder why the gate was open when I was coming home this morning.
The gate
I
was
thought-
open?
Yes, the gate was open. I thought perhaps someone left it unlocked, but I don't know.
Well, at this time, we do not need anything. Please, you must have had a long journey. You should definitely take some time and play with Boot.
Would love to. I did manage to get that dress finished for you. I called in a favor with some friends in Valaki to finish up the labor. He kind of hands it up. Ta-da!
Oh, it's lovely. Such amazing work. I knew we came to the right place.
He kind of beams.
Is he offering it for
Yeah.
us to take? Okay, so she will take it from him then.
Mm-hmm. Well, I shall go make sure everything is all right with my servants. But I do not wish to be a rude host. You are still my guests here.
Oh no, please, take care of your business, sir. We understand.
I think once everything is settled, I think we'll be on our way anyway. We have the dress. Thank you again for that. And the bride, I'm sure, will be eager to try it on.
Well, I am happy to be able to take part in such a noble cause.
Saya will give him her best curtsy while holding a wedding gown off the floor.
It's at about this time, Axel, Nanaha, you and Radu make your way in through the front door, coming in from the servants' quarters.
Oh, Lord Van Holt, welcome back. I see you brought the dress. That is lovely.
Yes, I was actually just telling your friends that I outsourced some of the work in Valaki, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Saya here has some very unfortunate news for me. It seems there was an incident last night, yes?
Yes, we were just coming from that, unfortunately. I don't know if I mean, I know you have a maid staff, but you may want some a little more rugged to go clean up the servants' quarters.
Ah, I see. It was that sort of it was that bad. All right. I will take care of that. I am sorry, my friends, that you had to experience such an unfortunate situation. Not exactly the sort of hospitality I would like to show my guests.
Believe me, I am equally embarrassed at what happened while we were here.
Well, you are, as lord of the house, you are free to go. I am not one to stop you for whatever business you have.
Lord Von Holtz also mentioned the gate was open when he arrived.
You muffled out there, Nev. What was that?
Lord Von Holtz mentioned the gate was open when he arrived. Anyone?
That is very weird.
Lord Van Holt, when you had left last night, I assumed that you had locked the gate behind you?
I am pretty sure I did.
Does other than you and some of your servants, does anyone else have a key?
No. Not really.
Not really?
I mean, I did lend a key to one of the Wachter house a while ago, but they haven't left Valaki since then.
Was Wachter the coffin maker?
No, Wachter was the noble family that the old guy was inviting you to dinner for.
Right, okay.
Technically, we didn't know that's who he was inviting us for, but I think Nanaha knows that the Wachter family was the noble family in Valaki.
Yep. Okay, cool. So I don't know who the Wachters are, but they weren't who I was thinking. Okay.
They invited us to dinner, but unfortunately we couldn't attend.
Well, they are, for the most part, a very interesting family. The matriarch is a bit intense, but we have a good enough business arrangement that I would not expect any sort of malfeasance.
Very well. We won't bother you further. Oh, I'm sorry. I will bother you further. I apologize. Did you run into Ismark while you were in Balakai?
No, your friend actually, they said that he had left back for the village of Barovia. Things were a little, crazy before I arrived. Apparently, the village was attacked, a couple nights ago.
What?
Yes, corpses coming from the lake. They were cleaning up a lot of it when I arrived.
I told you guys I needed to check out that lake.
So people's moods were a little sour when I arrived.
Understandable.
It seems like Master is not so very popular right now.
I couldn't imagine why.
He's such a dour man. But yes, everyone was a bit on edge.
Well, we wouldn't want to keep you from your work and getting to your relaxation that you've so greatly earned. So please allow us to excuse ourselves.
Yes, of course.
Through that whole thing, I mean, I guess it's just insight still, but I don't need to re-roll, I suppose. But are we getting the sense that it's all business with him? Like everything is business? He seems a little nonchalant for someone who had someone murdered in his home by total strangers.
It's not that he's all business. He seems more concerned about your guys' well-being right now. Like he's concerned about having to be the host right now and wants to make sure that you're all not being troubled.
All right.
You know that type of person that's so aggressively nice that they kind of overlook bad things going on? Kind of that vibe.
Oh, he's Canadian.
Yes.
We're from Wisconsin.
Yes.
I mean, now you guys know why Fluffy's so nice.
That is true.
Well, now that we have the dress, is there any other questions we want to ask anyone here before we head out?
Saya very firmly shakes her head no.
All right.
He kind of looks to the others.
I'm ready to go.
All right. Well, you are welcome anytime you'd like. I may not be here, but I'll make sure you are welcome back.
We will take that under consideration. Thank you very much for your hospitality, Lord Van Holt.
Of course, of course. Anyone else? Are you sure? Do you want anything? We could send you on the road with some food, some drink. I really feel bad that I was not able to accommodate you correctly.
Your accommodations were wonderful, Lord Van Holtz. It's unfortunate this happened, but it is certainly no fault of yours.
This is a strange request. Does anybody have any med kits I could maybe buy off you?
Let me go check with Radu.
We want to leave.
And
Get out.
he leaves outside. Eventually Radu comes back with him. Radu is got his tunic rolled up to the sleeves, and he's carrying a bucket of soapy water. Oh, well, yes, hello. Lord Von Holtz said that one of you needs medical supplies.
Yeah, I'm looking for healer's kits if you have any to spare.
He kind of thinks for a moment. One moment. He walks up to the room that you had the bath in, comes back. This has about 5 uses in it left, but you can have it. I will need to prepare more myself.
Oh my god, thank you so much.
Radu still seems pretty on edge, even with Vasily being all like, everything's fine. There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
Oh no.
So, seeing Saya's general, like, we got to get out of here vibes, Axel is going to bow deeply, thank him again, and go get the horses, or horse and the elk.
All right. You all scamper outside as you
Oh,
hear. Go
before,
ahead.
Before we go, Verity kind of like sneaks over to Katarina and quietly asks her in Infernal if she, understands.
She responds, "Of course."
Okay, she gives her a sealed letter, and it just says, if I don't come back, then just remember this, and just leaves, gives it to her and leaves.
Oh, all right. Bye. You guys all make your way outside. Axel, you head to the stable where you see you see Minadora and you see the wagon. And as you approach it, you hear a mechanical ticking.
Piddlewink?
You see the mechanical face poke around the corner from the top of the wagon. And he kind of gives you that, like, so-so motion with his hand.
I go, like, I walk back to the back of the wagon just to see, like, if he's done anything.
No. Seems fine.
Okay. There's not, like, he's not, like, covered in blood and reading geology books, is he?
That was my question. Like, he's probably just looks like. Does he look any cleaner than he did the previous night? Like he was once covered in blood, cleaned it, or like because of whatever state he was in last night, he had to clean himself from.
Axel can certainly roll an investigation if he wishes. No one else is there right now.
So is Axel's just gonna look, like, double check the wagon, make sure everything that we, like, left in there is there.
Yeah, everything in there is there.
All right. Make yourself at home, buddy. And Axel hops up on Alexander and, like, takes Minadora by the bridle and, like, kind of eases her out of the barn and toward the front of the manor.
All right, you all eventually you see Axel on his skeletal elk leading Minadora and the wagon back around to the group. You see a little mechanical head poke out the back of the wagon and wave at the group.
Thank you again for your hospitality, Lord Von Holtz, as she's ushering everybody to get on the wagon.
Getting into the driver's seat.
All right.
Once Anna has the reins, Axel will let go of the bridle and ride forward on Alexander.
Okay. Is there anything anyone would like to do on the road?
Verity will sit next to Pocket and, she does, maybe not hover over him, but just to think, be like, you going to be all right?
I'm just going to eye Piddlewick.
Piddlewick just kind of sits there and, like, looks back at Pocket, but then kind of, like, focuses his attention on Verity and Nanaha and Roz.
And at this point, does he look any more polished than he did?
You can roll an investigation if you wish. Not really sure. You didn't give him much of a good look. He freaked you the fuck out.
So the dice gods have spoken. All right.
Roz will just sit up in the front with Nanaha and give Pocket his space. He's been through enough this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that could have gone worse.
Well, I'm glad I didn't actually have to argue Pocket's innocence. I'm sure I could have done it, but it was very much stacked against us.
I would like to point out that it could have gone much better for us as well.
Piddlewick nods.
You know what happened, Piddlewick?
Piddlewick tilts his head to the side, kind of like in the confused dog head motion.
A man in the house was murdered. Lots of stabbies last night. And, yeah, that was the problem. He brings his hands to his face to the Home Alone position. He has, the visage on his face doesn't change. As you can see, he can't make expressions. But he's conveying shock. Yeah, that was a bit unpleasant.
I guess that precludes checking to see if he looks genuinely upset about it.
Yeah, I wasn't going to try to insight check a doll. Kind of hard.
Well, if there's any evil doll here, I'm pretty sure it's the one in your bag pocket.
Mine has never spoken before, or danced or moved, but sure.
It has moved. It stabbed you, remember?
Well, it just kind of did it. It wasn't like it moved.
Did anyone see it the time its head turned and, laughed at him?
I thought I was the only one who saw that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, Pocket was the only one who saw that.
I just could have sworn I had found out that the doll stabbed him or that he stabbed himself. I don't remember which.
He stabbed the doll and there were wounds on himself.
So your mask, Pocket, works the same as this doll.
I'll pull out my mask and wind it up and put it on.
There is a harmonious clicking of gears in the wagon at this point.
Verity can only sigh, and she goes back to doing her favorite pastime in the wagon, which is playing with Pocket's ears.
Go for it.
Verity, at this point, you notice that your backpack seems a little heavier than before.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, Pocket's ears will have to wait, as that doesn't make sense. So we'll just kind of, pull off her stick her head in, not stick her head in the pack. I don't know what the fuck. Look into the pack.
There are 7 books sitting in there.
Ooh, shit. Oh. Ah. Okay.
Everything okay?
Sorry, me. That was me, not her. She wouldn't be so crass. Good news. I appear to have found the books that have gone missing.
That is not what I would call good news, Verity.
Well, we know where they are, and they're not in the hands of someone untrustworthy.
Is there any blood on them?
I don't know, Fluffy. Is there?
Do you pull them all out?
Oh, yes, most definitely.
There is some smears of blood on the spines of them, yes.
Ooh. She didn't wake up bloody or anything, right?
No.
Okay. All right. So still all Pocket's fault. We're good. Okay.
That's got to be your intro line for the thing, by the way.
Yes, it's still Pocket's fault.
I'm sure we could clip that.
I just whatever. Anyway, so she's okay. Well, we could return them maybe later. I don't think going back and starting things all over again is a good idea. Not to mention, we are on a bit of a timeline. Lest we forget the full moon approaching this very evening.
Yeah, I don't think we want to rename anybody Howls at the Moon.
Plus, if we return them later, I can more easily explain that we found them on our trip, and it definitely wasn't Pocket.
Piddlewick is going to go pick up one of the books and looks at it inquisitively, and he is holding it upside down.
Be careful with the blood. Piddlewick, we need to clean them off before Katarina is sent into a murderous rage when they're returned.
As you say that, he looks at his hand, and there is like smears of blood on it. He gets kind of pouty, puts the book down, and rubs it off on Pocket's fur.
No, okay.
You're gross!
I just cleaned him.
Clean again.
At this point, Piddlewick shows that his hands are clean.
Well, at least Piddlewick's not going to be caught red-handed.
Ba-ding-ching.
Yep, that's still Roz.
All right, you make your way back to Kresk. The road is a bit hard to walk through at this point. There seems to have been a pretty heavy rainstorm the previous night, and the old Svalish road is slick with mud. The wagon gets stuck a few times. There's the noise as Minadora tries to pull her hooves out of the mud. And it is very slow going to get back to Kresk.
Oh, since it's slow going, we'll take the time to, carefully wipe down the books.
Okay.
De-blood them. Hey, there's not like bloody fingerprints on them or anything, are there?
Depends. Did you look before you cleaned?
I would say yes, because she's a little disconcerted that like they're in her book or her pack, but the working theory is Pocket took them and put them in her pack for some weird reason. So we'll take a cursory. Well, no, we'll take a look as we're cleaning them.
Okay.
For any evidence of
investigation.
Never mind.
Not really sure. You don't see anything looking like fingerprints. You see basically just kind of like smooth smears.
Yeah, baby, what it looks like when somebody grabs it. Yeah, okay.
So with as slow going as it is, it actually takes you about 2 hours to get back, which is frustratingly slow as the village is not too far from the Von Holtz Manor.
Yeah, I'm not going to hurt the horse to get there faster.
Mm-hmm. You make your way up to the gate. And the guards look down, seeing that it's you. They open up the gate, getting in. And you head in. The village seems pretty unbothered.
Oh, that's good at least.
Where would you like to go at this point?
I think we should go on a dress delivery. What do you guys think?
Should we at least notify Donovan that we're back?
Dimitri?
so.
Yes, I'm sorry. There's so many.
I know.
I think the guards would have notified Dimitri of our arrival pretty much as soon as we arrived.
Still, I think it'd be polite to at least, make sure that we introduce ourselves. I mean, we've already been introduced, but you know what I mean.
Let us conclude this unpleasant business with that flesh-crafted abbot and be done with him, and then we can check in.
Agreed. We are on a bit of a time limit here.
I don't know. I mean, I don't see the full moon yet.
Roz, we're on a bit of a time limit here.
Roz, when you're a dog, would you like a nice pretty pink collar, or you like I don't know.
Oh, we're getting collars for our pets now. I've got a great one for you, Pocket.
Sorry, you're cruel.
all this talk of collars, Verity looks sort of like uncomfortable.
As you mentioned, getting pocket a collar, Piddlewick makes a kind of does that shaking belly laugh sort of position.
And you're cruel too.
I didn't think you'd want to collar your friend. I mean, if I'm a wolf, Axel will be too. And I mean, I thought you and Axel were friends, but I guess not.
Yeah, I get Axel like a really nice harness and a pretty cool bed. Lots of treats.
Enough! Please, can we just be done with this?
Where are you going to stash the wagon?
There you go. We should just go talk to the burgomaster and ask if we can house our horse where we did last time.
That's a fair point. I will hop off and dismiss Alexander at this point.
Okay, poof.
There's a cheer from the townsfolk.
Yay!
You have once again defeated the undead elk.
You all make your way back up to the burgomaster's cabin. Dimitri is in there, and both him and his wife Anna seem to be expecting you both.
Well, this was quite the expedient return, yes? Is everything all right?
Dimitri, dear, not everything is a crisis.
We were able to or wait, who went? Who all went? Did we all go?
Yeah.
Okay. We were able to complete our task quicker than expected, and so now we've come to finish the rest of it. Also, I
I
wanted
see.
to make sure you didn't need more water.
Yesterday's rain helped. However, the pool has not regained any of its capabilities. But it is what it is.
Verity, do you want to check in on Irina as well? If we're stopping by and saying hi to everyone.
We can do that later.
Is it all right if we store Minadora and our wagon where we did a few nights ago?
That would be fine.
Excellent, thank you. We have an errand to run, but we will be glad to perform any labor you need in the evening.
That would be appreciated. We will discuss things later.
Anna kind of just, yeah, everything is fine, dear.
No. Yeah, you were right, Anna. Things have just been tense.
All will be well.
Things have been tense.
There was a little bit of grave robbing last night during the storm. One of the places where we have prepared our dead was dug up.
Ugh. I don't know why people do that.
Whose grave?
It was sorry, my mouse is freaking out. It was the Diavolov widow. Klavdia, dear, Klavdia.
Yes, Claudia. She had passed away
Several moons ago. Yes, so her plot of land, she was buried nearby. Her husband was, well, that was several years ago. Unfortunate accident with one of the cattle.
What was her profession in life?
She was
She was a weaver Dimitri. Right, sorry. Yes, she would weave baskets and wicker items for the village.
Okay. Just nothing, no particular reason why her grave would be chosen over anyone else?
No, they were not. She was not wealthy. She had nothing long lasting buried with her.
Was she very beautiful?
I guess you could say yes.
Okay, insight check. Was that a like, oh, I don't want to say she was beautiful in front of my wife? Or was that, I don't know?
You can roll an insight check. It was very much, I don't want to say that in front of my wife.
Got it.
Anna just kind of rolls her eyes.
What did she look like? Skin, was her skin fair, dark, hair color, eye color?
She had darker skin and kind of auburn hair. I do not remember the eye color, though. Why are you asking? That is a very strange question.
Well, the dead seem to come back to life here, and I just wonder if maybe we'll run into her later. It might help us find out who might have done it to then help you guys or give advice later.
Well, that is about as much as we can really give that would be of any relevance.
Thank you for the information.
Yes, of
Yes.
course.
As I've been told, we can't dilly-dally too long. We have things to do.
We wish you well. Best of luck. We will be here when you return.
We will return as soon as we are able.
You guys say your goodbyes. And as you get the wagon parked, Piddlewick starts climbing out of the wagon.
Hold on, Piddlewick. This might not be a good village to try to perform in.
He kind of looks up at you and like a sullen child climbs back in.
Or this could be the best village for him to perform in. I hear there's a playwright up on the hill who is always looking for artists.
So maybe we should have him perform for the playwright, but not for the burgomaster.
Alright, he can accompany us up to the abbey. I just don't think that Kresk proper would appreciate him.
As you say that, he gets excited and scampers out of the wagon and actually climbs up on top of Nanaha's shoulders.
I put on the cloak and settle him under the hood.
Like an excited child, he tries to peer around your head.
Just hang out of sight until we're up the hill, okay, hun?
You feel a weird nodding from inside your cloak.
It's weird, but I'll take it.
So the party and Hunchback Nanaha make their way up the twisty-turny access way up to the abbey. The ground kind of a cold, slushy state. As the further you get up, the colder and snowier the rain or the moisture becomes.
Before we get all the way up there, Raz will turn to Verity. Do you think that they were down here collecting parts for the bride? You were the one who got the best look at her, and you said she was all stitched together.
She also moved as a corpse would, but I don't know why they would want someone who was dark-skinned, especially someone who would have been decomposing after all that time. The woman, she says with sort of like, quotes, he is preparing to be Strahd's bride, was very pale.
Yes, but isn't he trying to make her appealing for Strahd? Isn't Irina much darker skinned?
Yes, but it sounded like he wanted to know what about Irina's personality and her traits made her appealing, not just, how she looked, since
Well, you don't think it's a bit odd that he sees Irina being a darker skin, and then the very next time there's a rainstorm, a darker skinned woman's body is taken?
This speculation will serve us ill. Let us just go to see the abbot, and perhaps we will see if there has been any changes to whatever its name was.
Vasilka.
Yeah. You make your way closer to the gate at the abbey, and you hear a high-pitched voice kind of yell from one of the parapets. Halt! Who goes there?
We're guests of the abbot. Open the doors.
I
What?
brought entertainment.
Otto does not like competition. Otto
Trust
also
me.
had Otto had whole spiel planned, and you all had to get to point. Now Otto doesn't even want to talk to dumb adventure anymore. Go
He's not-
inside.
He's not as great as you are, and I would still love to hear what you have to say. I'll let them go ahead just to listen to whatever he has to say.
Don't you want somebody to help pick out your scenes so you can see how they'd look? It's hard to do it in a mirror.
Think about it. Otto have anger management course in a few minutes anyway.
I love him so much.
Blood and darkness, can we just get this over with, please?
Otto let you in. Only because Otto is on 99 escape attempt and Otto get that reference.
Floppy the fourth wall, fuck!
Otto is my I don't care favorite NPC of this entire campaign.
Fucking fourth wall shatters, Barovia scatters into the material universe.
There is a soft wind blowing through as you make your way up into the main courtyard of the abbey. As you make your way closer to the gate, you hear the sound of rustling and screaming from behind the gate. You see the form of bat wings periodically breaking over the line of, or breaking into your line of sight. And then you hear a "ah" and a thud as whatever was trying to fly falls back down.
Well, this place gets cheerier every time.
With
Ross
whatever
kind of waves to the thing that's tied up. Just us again.
with whatever time I just stand here listening to whatever Odd has to say. Does he or does the other guard look any different from
No.
when they did before? Okay.
Nope, they look the same.
Verity shoots Roz a dirty look for his teasing the whatever the fuck it is.
Is it the guy that's chained up that was and it had the bat wings, or is there another?
It was the one that was chained up.
Okay.
What? Trying to make it so it doesn't want to strangle itself. I thought I was trying to be nice. If you don't want me to, don't have to.
You see, as you guys walk in, you see the shape of something poking out of the well before immediately vanishing from sight.
Like a person or
Just a
just
shape.
We have
Fuck, no.
business.
I'll take a quick glance, even if it imposes disadvantage. I don't care. I'm investigating now. I was accused of murder.
You look down in there, and you see clinging to the wall of the well a squat humanoid. You notice that as he's looking up, the left or the right side of his face, there are spider eyes, and the left side of his face is fully human. Clinging to the wall is a frog's frog's foot instead of his hand. And he just is like looking up at you, and as you look down, he kind of just hisses, "Going away! This one is going away!"
Okay, see you later. And just follow the rest of the group in.
Fucking god. This place sucks.
Let's just get out of here. Or let's get our business and get out of here.
You see coming out of the, out of the main hall of the abbey, the graceful, handsome figure of the abbot. "Ah, I thought you had arrived. I hope your journey was well."
As well as can be here, Father. Thank you.
Of course, of course. Are we here on business, or is there other things that you require from me?
We're here on business, and she's going to proffer the dress.
Ah, this is lovelier than I had expected. Thank you.
Oh, speaking of, we found this for you as well. And Axel will go into his back and hand him the book book about dancing.
Ah, you have done above and beyond our request. This book is much more modern than the one I had. This will help immensely in Vasilka's training. He goes to collect the dress and the book. Is there something that you would request in addition, as you have done this extra favor?
We were actually hoping you could inspect something for us and possibly break another curse.
I would be willing, of course. It is my responsibility to make sure that all of my children are taken care of. Come inside. I'm sure you would like to get out of the cold.
Visible discomfort at being called his child.
Yes, please. Some to warm up would be very nice.
You all move inside and you see sitting. It's at a different location at this point, but you see Vasilka sitting there. She has this kind of half staring off into the distance look. She turns her head to see you all coming in.
Does she look darker?
No.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Not to be too business forward, but would you mind removing the lycanthropy from myself and Roz before we continue on?
I will do that, yes. And he walks over, he goes and touches your head, and his hand emanates this golden light, and you feel this just warmness wash over you. It is done.
Morning, Lord, praise you, Father.
Praise you as well. May you walk forever in his light.
Well, Abbot.
And he walks over to Roz. I apologize for any discomfort that this may cause. I understand that your nature is of shadow. And he reaches his hand forward, and once again this golden light washes over you. It is hot, kind of like getting a sunburn, but eventually it fades, and there's a feeling of... kind of a feeling of warmth that is more comfortable. It is done.
I suppose I should say thank you.
It is fine. Well, your thanks
Thank you
has
so
been
much for the raid.
appreciated. I do this for the sake of what is right.
How was your tabletop simulator
Hey,
game?
Pocket.
Yes.
So now that we have that resolved, will you show the abbot your doll and see if maybe we can see if that is cursed and causing some of the problems that we're having?
Sure. I'll pull it out of my bag and kind of like hold it facing the abbot.
He walks over, kind of in that like graceful gliding motion, and he goes
I'll
to
make it
pick
look like
up.
it's talking.
Charming.
I thought so.
And he picks it up, and you see that his eyes turn a bright, vibrant gold.
Don't hurt it! Tensing for any potential pain to me.
I do not sense the presence of evil within it. However, you, I may say, are a separate case.
Me?
No, your tabaxi friend.
Yeah, I tend to be a special case.
There is a darkness inside you.
Well, I kind of do have a curse of sorts.
I see. Do you wish for it to be cleansed?
No, I'm kind of a fan of this one.
I see. I shall respect your wishes then.
Is it the burdening, or is it something else that's cursing him?
I simply sense a vile presence infecting him. But I am respecting his wishes.
Vile presence? That doesn't sound like Pocket's where. What the hell is the word for like were ravens?
Were Raven.
No, that doesn't sound like his were raven ism.
Well, I mean,
Shit.
I thought Esmeralda pointed out that it is a curse. Like, that's also why I couldn't be a werewolf. Would you get this, talking to the abbot, would you get the same kind of feeling from one of the werewolves?
This one is different.
Perhaps we should let him cleanse you.
If it does cleanse your were ravenness, you can probably get that back if you want it again.
Okay.
Will you be able to cleanse only the vile presence and not any other curses he may be harboring? Forgive me, my knowledge of holy magic is rather limited. Are you able to be precise with your work, or is it more of a broad approach?
My capabilities purify one's body and soul, and anything that is not considered in that will be removed. So yes, if you wish to preserve your lycanthropy, This would remove it.
So it sounds like Pocket can stay a Were-Raven, but murder people in his sleep. Or get rid of both.
Or we just learn to tie Pocket up every night. We could tie him to Axel.
Yes, because I'm sure a Tabaxi who's skilled in sneaking around will have no troubles escaping from, binds.
To be fair, he's right.
And put a big bell on him.
I mean, if
He
we
would
want,
feel
I can
better.
always, if we want, I can just break his legs. Then he won't be able to run around either.
Please don't
are-
do that.
Do you need a hug, Raz? What's going on, buddy?
Nanaha, you feel a kind of like snickering vibration on your shoulders.
Oh, hey, Abbott, do you want a bit of entertainment?
I appreciate the offer, but right now there is much work to be done.
I'll take your offer.
All right. He walks over. His hand glows with a golden, radiant light. He reaches down, touches you on the shoulder, and all of you see this golden light kind of consume the shape of Pocket. And now, Days, I'm going to offer you a choice.
Oh no.
Oh, jeez.
If you wish to change your class from Phantom, this is the opportunity.
No.
Nope.
All right. You are cleansed of your lycanthropy. He looks. His eyes turn gold again. Ah, I see. The influence has latched onto his soul. There is nothing I can do.
So I'm cursed forever.
That is correct. Unless you have the capabilities of changing your soul, this mark will be forever stamped on it.
I can deal with that, I suppose.
All right, next thing to buy from Blinsky is a really big bell.
As this was unsatisfactory help, I will put forth an offer for you. In return for you bringing this book to me, I will revive one from the dead, as long as their death was less than 10 moons ago.
Hey, Zan.
That could be very helpful. Thank you so much.
Damn, this man knows some high level spells.
You are welcome. As I said, the assistance I provided for your tabaxi was not satisfactory, and I appreciate you bringing the book that I had requested.
Is there anything else you want us to keep an eye out for while we're out and about?
I will think on this. As for the moment, there is nothing else I require. I can sense the need in your group for questions, however, and I will accommodate them while I have your company.
Raz looks to the rest of the group, kind of like, It occurs to me that motioning with my hands does not actually help anybody.
Apparently the lake down the hill used to have special abilities. In fact, the guy was trying to reach out of it the other day. That was weird. Um, but Strahd kind of blew it up and it no longer does.
I sensed that the magic of the pond had faded. That is quite unfortunate. It was blessed directly by the Morning Lord several centuries ago.
Oh, wow.
And yes, and it seems that whatever happened destroyed that blessing. You said that a man reached out from the surface?
Yeah, he was calling himself Sergei?
Ah, that is unfortunate. That must have been the soul of Strahd's long-dead brother. May the Morning Lord watch over him in his afterlife.
Was he anything like Strahd?
From what we have witnessed over the centuries, he was not like his brother. He was kind, caring. He was brought up to be a member of the clergy. We had great interest in him. However, he was taken long before we were able to reach him.
I take it, based on his reaction, that Strahd and this Sergei did not get along.
They did. However, there was circumstances that have been clouded from our vision. There was an event. I do not have more information. I am sorry.
Is it normal for ghosts to be able to reach out of water like that?
Depends. From what you speak, it was not a ghost, but it was his spirit. There is a difference.
To be fair, this is Barovia as well. The dead really don't stay dead.
Speaking of the dead not staying dead, do you know of anything about a grave that was dug up in town of a woman, I believe by the name of Claudia?
Mm-hmm. He ponders for a moment. I have not. However, that would not surprise me. The Bellevue...
Insight check.
Actually, I was continuing. The
Go.
Bellevues have been instrumental in assisting with my research. I would not put it past one of them to have ventured down into the village.
Does your research often involve year-old corpses?
As of recently, no. Previously, it was for a means to an end.
Verdi does that sort of like, not like the squint, but like the narrows eyes, sort of like,
We just found it a little odd that she was darker skinned and darker haired. That's all. Kind of reminded of Cyrena a bit.
And now Nanaha gets shot a dirty look as well.
Yep, waiting for that.
Speaking of which, since we left Irina here, has she come by at all?
No, she has not.
Keeping to our agreements.
She had, on our last encounter, you had expressed a dissatisfaction with that, and I could tell that she holds your opinions with a great amount of weight.
We were hired to
Just
protect her. You understand that we might be a little suspicious of strangers.
It is understandable. Suspicion is the state of the mortal mind, after all.
Now, there's an interesting question. The village chief said that you, speaking of mortal minds, the village chief said that you have apparently escaped the bounds of age. I dismissed it as mere superstitious nonsense, of course, but the way you reference mortal minds as if you are not included in such a distinction. Oh god, Nevia disappeared. Such a distinction is most curious.
Not escaped age. Age just does not befall me. That is all.
Turbo suspicious look, but says nothing.
Are there any other remaining questions that your group may have for me?
Hang on a minute.
I mean, also, you have someone in the group who can always find out if there's something wrong with him. If that's something Verity wants to push.
What? No, she can't sense evil. That's Axel's thing.
I know, I was saying someone in the party could,
Oh,
if that's
right,
something
yeah,
she
no.
wanted to push.
No. She doesn't want to be here near him and vasectomy over there. So
Wow, vasectomy over there.
Wow.
name. I struggle with names. I'm sorry.
Actually, we've picked up a extra person ish while you're out. You seem to be in the habit of collecting things as well. And he kind of motions for Nanaha to pull down the cloak around Piddlewick. This one was looking for an area that has people in it could perform for. Do you think you could take this under your wing? You seem to have different things around here. He might not seem so out of place.
Interesting. This one seems to have something about it. Piddlewick kind of just looks at the abbot and tries to climb back under Nevia's cloak again.
Nanahas.
Sorry, Nanahas.
I think he's a creepy murderer, but, that's just me.
If you have questions, perhaps I could consult the Morning Lord for answers.
Well, I was thinking that Piddlewick could stay here with you and the Belleviews, Bell ringers.
Not the Belmont.
The Bellevue family.
You could stay here with them. I know Otto was talking about putting on performances. He is a performer.
Perhaps. He turns. Preacher, do you wish to stay? Piddlewick nods no, or shakes his head no. Then it sounds like he has made up his mind.
Has the mannequin of a woman on the other side of totally super still this entire time?
No, she's been like looking at you. And whenever somebody's talking, she shifts to face whoever's talking.
I'll
She's
just
still
wave.
moving all stiffly.
I mean, there is some stiffness to her actions. She waves back to Pocket.
Well, it seems we're finished here, and we do have obligations in the village.
Understandable.
I was wondering if you knew where there was a dead dragon's lair.
I do not, but I can consult. I can consult others if that would assist you.
I would, but I wouldn't go out of your way. I appreciate the notion.
It is. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, didn't Raz get information on that he shared with us about the manor where the paladin died?
You did, yeah. You got some information about that, yeah.
Ah, sorry. I couldn't remember which ones we had got info on, so I'm like, Taraka readings. Ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were told about both the manor and then also, if I recall, something like up in the mountains. Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe Nanaha didn't ask about that because we already have an answer on that.
I guess so one reading I think you don't know anything about is the. This is not a character. Is the dizzying heights where the stone itself is alive? So I guess I will ask him. We were told somewhere about like living stone. Do you know where we might find that? A place.
I do not. I do not off of the top of my head, however. I could consult if that is your request.
That's okay. I think you should save those sorts of connections for things that are exceedingly important.
There is wisdom in your words, Paladin.
Thank you for your time, Father. I do think we must go.
He nods. It has been a pleasure, as always. I look forward to our next meeting. Now, if there is no other business to tend to, I should be ensuring Vasilka's lessons for the day.
Thank you for your time, Abbot.
It has been a pleasure. Best of luck in your journeys, and may the light wash over you.
May you walk in the light, Father.
And he kind of turns. Be it dear, and say farewell to our friends, Vasilka. She kind of gets up, looks at the group, and waves.
Can she speak?
She looks at you. No, she has... That is something that she needs to be learned, and that is part of our lesson today.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Wow.
Bye. He goes to turn to face her. She gets up and kind of like walks around the table. It's still a little jerky, but not stop motion animation-y.
It looks like she's practiced.
Yes.
When his back is turned to me, I kind of want to watch her to see if she like gives any indication or anything, any untoward notion of like either she's being treated poorly or anything else.
No. She seems to be just doing what he asks. Her expression is very neutral.
All right, we're leaving.
Fuck yeah, we are.
As you leave, you all hear some gibbering from some of the walled-off sections of the abbey. The bat-winged individual is still flapping against his chains.
Fuck it, since we're in the checking mood, I'll get closer-ish, like here, and ask him, "Are you okay?"
You see that, like, there are just bug mandibles where the jaw and mouth would be. And it's kind of like just trilling and clicking at you in response.
I'll pass a glance to Axel and kind of look at it, and then back to Axel.
It kind of just anxiously starts backing away from you as you approach.
I think this one's best left alone, Pocket.
I don't think he'd do well out in the world.
All right.
Piddlewick sticks his head out from your cloak and looks at it. How is everyone looking at this creature right now?
With pity.
Yeah.
With pity?
Just kind of blank, like not really pity, but no, just kind of confusion.
Saya just glanced at it and is moving on.
Okay. Nanaha is looking at it with pity, so... Nanaha, you hear this noise, and you see as a dart whizzes past your shoulder. You hear a yelp, and the creature just kind of, like, slumps over, not breathing. And then Piddlewick taps you on the shoulder and looks for approval.
Oh.
You don't want to do that, Lilwick. You don't do that, okay?
Okay.
Did you say
thing's
not
moving at
breathing?
all?
Yes. The thing is
go over
obviously
and-
dead.
Oh my!
I thought it was just out of hit points. I didn't think it was dead.
Yeah, it was dead.
We need to leave. We need to leave right now.
Or
Reading-
we could tell them that our freaking creepy doll accidentally killed somebody.
Go ahead, Pocket. Go tell him.
I will. I'll go tell the abbot. We'll knock on the door.
Enter.
Hey, so that creepy doll thing, it presumed a lot, and its murderous streak continues. Feel free to destroy it if you want to. I think the bat thing died because he did something to it.
He looks. Poor Marzena. Come, I will tend to it. The abbot kind of walks over gracefully, just swooshing past the group, his long cloak just kind of like gracefully swishing with the breeze. He reaches down, his hand glows a bright gold. It is not your time, young one. And you see a flash as it gasps and skitters and scurries away from the abbot. There. All taken care of.
Does
Well,
it look
Thank
different than when it went down?
Nope.
I'm sorry, Mazena. That creepy doll is really aggressive for no reason.
Piddlewick looks at Nanaha confused and kind of sulks under the cloak.
It's not a good idea to randomly kill things. Okay? Try to pat him on the head.
Wait, we're totally just cool with this?
I think he's new to society, to put it one way. I don't think he knows any better. It would be like Kazan thinking something and acting without realizing it's a bad thing.
It was able to describe where it was from and has displayed emotions. It is intelligent enough to me.
It is intelligent enough to learn what is good and what is bad, and I don't think it knows.
It reminds
Well-
me of a child.
Roll an insight check, everyone.
Well, Pocket, what would you have us do to someone who just randomly murders an innocent in the middle of the night? I mean, day.
Look, Raz.
Axel,
Puppets. We should. I don't know yet.
Axel, you notice that based on his behavior, Piddlewick seemed to be thinking that he was helping with how everyone was looking at Marzena with pity. And then once he killed it, he immediately was looking to Nanaha for approval.
I think he was trying to put him out of his misery. So maybe not. Yeah, I think doesn't know better is the right. Like, he was trying to help, and I think he just didn't think it through.
I'm watching you. I'll do the two-fingered eye-to-eye thing.
Speaking of watching, I'm going to have Mogget watch Pocket at night.
Thank you, because I was thinking I was just going to tie him to Axel. Either way, I kind of dismissively wave off Pocket. Just shh.
Hear that, Margaret? We're cuddle buddies.
Do
That-
remember that Mogget's going to sting you if you get up at night.
At least
fair.
go to the bathroom in peace. That would just be a mess.
Pocket's new name is Puddles.
Wait, you get a whole. You guys all just turn on me.
Not turning on you, Pocket, but it may be prudent given the things that have happened.
I trust you as a person. I just don't trust your sleeping brain right now. I worry. I trust you. Okay?
Puddles full of gold.
Piddles full of gold.
I more
Piddles full of gold. Yeah, that's definitely not a new name.
I more imagined that it would possibly wake Pocket up So perhaps I should have Mogget bite instead of sting. But
Either way, I guess. I'd like to know if I'm sleepwalking.
wouldn't we all?
And that's our greatest concern right now. Not that you're a good or a bad person, just sleepwalking.
Because I'm a great person. Anyway,
I presume
run out.
we're all walking out while
Yeah.
we're having
Yep.
this conversation.
Yeah, you are. I just didn't feel like switching maps.
No, that's fair.
Oh, Otto, I do want to stop by Otto and ask him. Otto, do any of you guys just dig up graves, or did you dig up a grave recently?
That kind of work beneath Otto.
Clearly, you're a champion.
Thank you. Not
Who
everyone here understands greatness.
Who would dig up anything?
That is, Otto thinking that seemed like handiwork of 8th cousin, 7-time removed. They're shifty.
Yes. Of course.
There are member of family who will do dirty work. They're not let inside Otto's immaculate living quarter.
Where are they, and what's their name?
They are in Dum Dum stable because they are not as smart or good as Otto. You hear from the other rampart. Otto, shut up. No, Otto not shut up, Zegfrak. Otto only speaking truth. That be Cobal.
Cobalt.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Otto. You're just incredibly generous and helpful.
That good, because Otto getting bored now. Otto go take nap. And you just
I'll
hear
probably-
snoring.
I can fall asleep that fast.
He pretending to sleep.
Well,
Shut
let
up,
us-
Zigfrak!
Let us
That
not
was
pretend
pretty
to
cool.
get the hell out of here.
You leave as the kind of like the gibbering continues. As you leave the gates, you hear a bell ringing, and you see a hunched over shape kind of lurching through the courtyard with a large cast iron pot.
Looks like dinner's ready.
Yes, let's just keep moving. Yes, let's just keep moving. Helps if I remember push to talk.
You know, of all the places in Barovia that we've been to, this is probably the safest and nicest.
You must be absolutely out of your mind. Did you miss the part where the man has a reanimated woman in his room and he's teaching it how to be the perfect bride?
Well, we've been in houses that tried to kill us. I've been possessed. We now have a living doll with us, and there's a lake with a ghostly hand in it, and Strahd roaming about. This place has people that have talked to us, cured us, and kind of left us alone, and we've come and gone without anything going wrong.
You know, he's got a point in a kind of messed up way.
Honestly, I'd prefer the Wizard of Wines to this place. They at least have drink.
True. I just know I'm just calling this place creepy. Not bad, just creepy. It's Barovian flavored hospitality.
Yeah, that's one of the berry bots beans you don't want.
It's the one that tastes like grass.
You make your way back down the winding road. You see at the end of the valley, there's a woman waving at you. She's darker skinned, her hair tied up in a ponytail.
Does she look like she's been dead for 9 months?
No.
Okay.
Is it Irina?
Yes.
She's heard we're back.
And
That was my next up.
yeah, and this is where we will end today's session.